Yes, all right, guys. I'm happy that we are here. Um, this is Programming Simplified now. Today, I wanted us to look at front-end development, the roadmap to becoming a front-end developer. So, what I love about front-end development is that there is rapid feedback. Something that you're working on, you're getting the feedback directly, and you're working on something that you're seeing direct. When besides the back end, a back end developer may need help from the front end to to see what went wrong, to see the errors. But the front end developer, the quick thing is that you get an immediate feedback. Today in this video, I wanted us to look at the roadmap on how you can get to the field of being a front-end developer. Without wasting time, let's dive in it right now and get started. When it comes to learning front-end, HTML and CSS are the basics of being a front-end developer. When you always talk of front-end, it involves HTML. HTML, almost every page you see that on the website, you see live has HTML on it. Every single page has HTML. So HTML goes directly to the internet, and even though you right click on any page, then you click view page source, you can see the HTML code that is being used by that page, which means that HTML is so important for any web page. So another thing is that CSS helps in styling. CSS helps in styling the web page, aside that it looks a bit nice. So HTML makes uh, CSS makes the page looks nice and so responsive. So you can add in a framework for CSS. There are many frameworks like Bootstrap, there is Taiwan CSS. Those frameworks makes life easier. They make life so simple so that you waste less time, you don't waste much time styling. You can use Bootstrap to quickly make layouts for your page. But CSS is the basic. You should know CSS, the basic knowledge. Then go straight to a framework like Bootstrap or Taiwan CSS. There are many frameworks, you can search for them just to make life easier. So another thing is that you can proceed to JavaScript. From that point, JavaScript JavaScript makes the page at least so interactive. Once you click or maybe on a button, you get feedback from an API, something like that. Okay, there is some that the page can do something that that is important. So you can go for PDFs, JavaScript PDFs. There is eloquent PDF. There are beginner JavaScript PDFs, many. You just go to Google and type for the PDFs, JavaScript PDFs. You'll get one, or you can type Eloquent PDF, JavaScript PDF. There are many PDFs that will help you learn JavaScript. You also need a package manager. This helps in building also uh, package manager like npm, those help in building and deployment of your application uh, going live to the internet. In simple terms, that helps to prepare your code for deployment. So you can then proceed to a JavaScript framework once you get to know of the concepts of JavaScript. You don't need to be an expert, but once you get to know at least how JavaScript moves on. You can pick a framework. You can pick among the three frameworks. You can pick something like React. There is React, there is Angular, then there is Vue. But if you'd like me to guide you, I may go for React because React is at least popular. React is popular these days. So if you get to use React, you may be on top. But you can use any. You can use Vue or Angular. It's your choice. But my recommendation was that React on my side, I say is good. Uh, so there are many platforms that use React. Even Facebook uses React to develop those some applications. There are many platforms that do use React as a framework. You can also add in some TypeScript if you wish, because TypeScript is almost replacing. It's not taking away JavaScript, but people are getting to it so much more these days because TypeScript prevents most errors. So TypeScript helps to make your code clean. If you use TypeScript, the risks of getting much errors in your application or web page, the risks are low because almost everything comes perfect in TypeScript. So if you have time, you can also go for TypeScript. If you know some JavaScript, TypeScript becomes simple. It's simple to learn if you know some JavaScript. But another thing is that if you wish to add in and make your coding experience at least advanced, you can proceed on and add in some Node.js. Even though you want to become a full stack developer, there is no need of learning another language like Java, Python, if you're already learning JavaScript. The language I would suggest you to learn is Node.js because Node.js is still JavaScript. So learning Node.js becomes so simple because what is in Node.js is almost the same in JavaScript. So that simplifies work and life becomes so simple. Uh, for the Node.js, it may act as a server for your front end. For the applications, you may create APIs. So it makes the application fully functioning. So another thing is that you can learn using GitHub. If you're a software developer or a programmer, you'll never miss using GitHub. So GitHub is one of the knowledge that you're supposed to know. GitHub, in other words, is so important for any web developer because almost every work you do, you need to store it on GitHub. And when if with time, if you get experience, you may need to work for open source platforms. There are many platforms for open source that even do pay good amount of money. So if you need to work with many people on a single project, they will use GitHub to and contribute their code. So that will be so important to know. You should go ahead and learn GitHub. Let me know down in the description if you'd like to learn about GitHub, and I'll direct you for that. So you should learn how to push to GitHub, how to clone something like a project from GitHub and use it direct to your PC, and then how to merge. Then you should know how to create a repository, on GitHub. Those things, creating a repository, pushing your code to GitHub, something like that. You should get used to that. And once you practice those things every day, you find yourself that you have improved at least and knowledge is like you at least advanced in that. So another thing is that you should know how to deploy. uh, Deployment is the next thing. If your application is done, you have pushed it to GitHub, you can deploy it live to GitHub. Also, GitHub supports live deployment. So you can also deploy it on Netlify. If you don't mind, you can learn Netlify, because Netlify on my side is simple, because it's the one that I also use to deploy a website. So Netlify is good. You can also use Heroku. Heroku is also nice, or else you can use Firebase. Firebase will help you also for making your web interactive. If you don't mind, instead of learning a back-end language, you can still learn Firebase, because Firebase takes at least less time to know other than learning a full language. You can also learn Firebase to make your application fully functionable. So you should also learn how to test your code. Sometimes we do deploy web pages without being tested. Sometimes they work with no problem, but you should practice at least yourself how to test code. Most of the times, I also forget testing, but you shouldn't forget to test code, because even when it comes to working with the team, you won't miss that process of testing your code. So you should practice it, and then I think that's all. That's a good starting point. Let me know down in the description for any knowledge you'd like to get. And another thing is that I thank you that we have at least moved together. If this video was so helpful to you, a like would mean a lot to me. Another thing is that see you now in the next video. So thanks for watching.